Thank you for being willing and vulnerable to be the coaches and to put it out there and to show everyone how amazing you are at what you do. And the judges too, like, wow, blown away by each and every one of you. Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host and head coach, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz expert, founder of the Quantum Coaching Certification, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. This is the show to help you make magic your everyday normal, where the ripple effect is real and the guest experts are world class. My mission is to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation teachings, business tools, and coaching techniques to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Are you ready for quantum transformation? Let's do this. What's up, badass manifestors, quantum coaches, and future quantum coaches? I have one question for you. You want to be on top? We had so much fun at the Next Top Coach live event that I was like, this is too good. We need to put this on the podcast because there is so much value in this coaching session that these coaches coach our amazing client Amy on, that I feel like everyone needs to listen to it. If you've ever wanted to be behind the scenes of a coaching session and say, what goes on? Like, and really know what goes on in these sessions and the magic that unfolds, this is the podcast for you today. And so the Next Top Coach was incredible, amazing turnout. We had so much transformation unfold. And so this is going to be a two-parter, and then you're going to hear the judging. So you're really gonna wanna listen to both episodes to hear the judges' feedback for our amazing coaches. Now, all these coaches have graduated from the Quantum Coaching Academy, and they're really showing off their skills. And I mean, they're absolutely incredible. And so I'm super excited for you to listen to this. And before we dive in, I want to invite you to something that we've never done before. It is so beyond cool what we're doing. So we are hosting something called the Quantum Coach Codes, which is something we've literally never done before. This is going to help you crack the coaching code. So until now, I've only shared this specific code with students inside the Quantum Coaching Academy, which is our internationally accredited certification program. And what we're doing is we're pulling out an amazing section from the program, and we're hosting a 3-hour in-depth, value-packed, intensive coach training. So if you've thought, I'm thinking about joining QCA, but I'm not really sure if it's right for me, this 3-hour in-depth training is going to give you so much. You're actually going to learn the signature quantum coaching session structure for how to start, lead, and guide a very powerful coaching session, which ensures your client gets exactly what they want and need out of the session. This is a proven framework and tools to implement right away with your clients. So you're going to learn it, you're going to practice it, and then we're going to do a really powerful group coaching session where you get to practice your coaching skills. How many times have you been able to practice your coaching skills outside of your actual clients? Or how many times have you said, I want to know if I'm even good at this coaching thing, and you don't even have clients yet, or you haven't made the move to like step into becoming a coach? This would be the training to join. So this training it's just going to be amazing. And right now we're offering $100 off the training. So it was $444. It's $111 off. And we're offering it for $333 for 3 hours of an amazing, intensive, jam-packed intensive. The link is in my Instagram bio to join us. It's also in the show notes to join us. There are limited spots. And I will say that this is a live training and you're going to want to be there live. Yes, there will be a replay. It will be valuable, but to get the most out of it, we want you to be there live. So this event is happening September 29th, East Coast time from 5 to 7 p.m. Would love, love, love for you to be there. If you have questions, message me. I'm here for it. And without further ado, enjoy Next Top Coach. Okay, so right now, the judges are deliberating. They're looking at their notes. And Jenna is going to go first. She's going to touch base with each of the coaches and give her feedback. And then Lindsay is going to do the same. And then I'm going to do the same. And we're going to go over what their big coach energy moments were, what some of the winnable gaps were that we saw, and what's working really well in their coaching for them to keep. So we're going to give each judge a little bit of time, and we'll touch in with Amy along the way. So, Jenna.
Yes, I'm ready. My judge's notes are written and I'm ready to share them. So I'm going to start with Julie because she kicked us off. Julie, I thought your two BCE moments were asking Amy how long it has been going on in her life that she hasn't been asking for things. And for us to get that information of forever was really key. So I love that question. And then I also really love that you brought in the role play. I thought this scenario was a perfect one for role play. I actually wish it could have come in sooner. I realized you couldn't have brought it in when you first came around, but I wish it had come in sooner. Although I do feel like the miracle question from Emelina kind of set up the role play. So yeah. And in terms of your winnable gaps, the main one I noticed is I thought you played it a little harsh, super supportive, as we learned from Amy. And you were like a little bit of a like scary boss in that role play. And then things that are working well, so many things. You do a great job of recapping what clients have shared and reframing what Amy shared. I love your use of we language. You know, what do we get to work on? Like, what's our next step? Very empowering and joining with the client. So I love that. I thought you used the opening questions really naturally and it flowed well. You managed to get all of the important information right from the top. And I thought you maintained a really positive, hopeful energy as you moved through the challenges that came up for Amy. Also, I loved your use of get to. What do we get to do versus have to do? That's classic Julie, you guys. If you know Julie, that's like her sweet spot is being really intentional with language like that. I really liked your use of scaling questions, particularly after the inner child work with Sandra. But that was a really nice intervention. I loved your clarifying questions. I love that you identified them as clarifying questions at times. You're like, okay, clarifying question for you. I loved it. You were like getting the details. And I loved how you acknowledged Amy's inner child work when you took over after that. I thought that was really beautiful. And you did an excellent job. I didn't write down any deductions. So that leaves Julie with a score of 100 points out of 100 points. So yes, thank you, Julie. Beautiful work. I will go to Emelina next because she was next. I thought your two big coach energy moments were using the miracle question. I love how that opened up space for possibility. And then right at the end, and a lot of people in the Facebook group agreed, reframing that maybe the goal isn't to get to a 10. Like, what if that's not the goal? That was huge. I love that. So the winnable gap that I saw was you're so good at using positive reframes, like it's just natural to you. That's just how I feel like that's how your brain works, and that's what comes out of your mouth. The only thing that I sort of wonder is if at times they get overused and they don't allow enough space for eliciting like client fears and blocks and things that might be in the way. So I would just invite you to take a look at that and make sure that you're allowing enough space for clients to share that. And then what's working well, I mean, the positive reframes, they're just amazing. The way that you restate what clients share, like the way that you reflect it back, I thought you did a beautiful job with that with Amy. I love that you noticed the physiological changes in Amy, like when her face was lighting up, when she was talking about what was beyond discomfort, even though she didn't see it, you saw it, and you brought our attention to it. I love your use of the question, how valuable would it be? Such a great question. And I love how you pulled out Amy's strengths from the role play. You really pulled out like what she was doing well and the assets that she brings to this conversation. I thought that was really powerful. So I'm going to just deduct 2 points for the maybe too many positive reframes. And that leaves Emelina with a 98 on my scoring sheet. I have a feeling I'm going to be like the easy judge. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, Sandra. BCE moment, I think we all know it was the inner child work. That was so powerful and such a good like callback to the fact that this has been something that Amy's been struggling with her whole life. Like very, very powerful. And you did that so confidently and so beautifully. I thought that was really powerful and I loved it. I think some winnable gaps. I think you could have elicited more talking from Amy. I know sometimes you were giving her a little bit of like education and like recognition and support. I think there could be an invitation for her to share more. I did notice a couple close-ended questions and like one instance of question stacking. And then I just wanted to invite you also to invite Amy to celebrate herself as much as you're celebrating her, like to really bring her in and like, how are you going to celebrate yourself today? What are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do for yourself to mark this huge progress? The things that you were doing really well. I love how you always started with acknowledging Amy. I thought that was very powerful. Reframing the purpose of anxiety was genius. Talking about how it's energy and it's telling us something and bringing in the body. And then when you asked, how can you make yourself safe when that alarm system goes off? So good. So good. So I noticed 3 close-ended questions, 1 question stacking, and then celebrating sort of more than allowing her to celebrate. So quick math, I think that's a 95. So yeah, excellent job, Sandra. Excellent job, everybody. If I got the math wrong, please put it in the chat. I love you all. Okay, Lindsay, are you
And we
ready?
have to introduce our celebrity guest,
Yeah.
Judge. Lindsay. If you want to do a like quick little intro for yourself, we did that in the beginning. I told everyone that you were fashionably late.
I am. Look at this judge look. Can you guys guess what
Seriously, I love it.
I am? No, I'm not giving away the answer. You guys got to get it. So my name's Lindsay Lawless. Thank you guys so much for having me, and I appreciate you guys bearing with me while I was fashionably late. So I am a wealth embodiment coach, priorly a former corporate accountant, and got into coaching about 3 or 4 years ago. And it is something that's absolutely changed the trajectory of my life completely, and I'm so passionate about. And I've been lucky enough to be able to connect with Ashley in multiple programs and masterminds, and now to be working with Ashley one-to-one to help me launch my coaching certification program. So really, taking the money mastery pillar and the work that I've been doing with my clients, the mindset, the energetics, and the strategy, and really bridging that with the coaching world to not only give skills and opportunities and coaching craft kind of acumen to money coaches and new coaches, but also existing coaches who maybe want to master that money pillar and add some more coaching skills to their repertoire. So that's kind of a little bit about me and what's going on. And thank you so much for having me. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and dive in. I'm just going to go in the order that I have my notes, if that's okay with everyone. So Sandra, let's see, big coach energy moment. So something that I think really, really, really stuck out for me is there was this moment where you really brought forth the opportunity for acceptance and surrender and being in relationship with. So thinking about like, what if I didn't have to move past this? I thought like that was such a beautiful reframe, and it just really, I felt the energy shift in that moment, both with Amy, but just in the room in general. So really helping her to drop into her body and seeing that doing the work around the deeper thing, being safety, was just a huge BCE moment for you to be able to like feel that underneath, that intuitive nudge or that heart-centered coaching for you to be able to go there. And I also want to give honorable mention, BCE honorable mention, to a moment for where you held quantum possibility in the closing questions. So like you were like, we're not done here. Like there's something else coming through, even though we're wrapping up. So you kind of integrated this opportunity to kind of prepare her emotionally and receive even more than she may have expected. So I thought that was really beautiful. Some winnable gaps. I noticed a little bit, and like I know there was some other stuff going on, like some stuff in the chat. So like I didn't take points away for this because it didn't feel appropriate. But I noticed a little bit of visible thinking, like when things happened, it kind of threw you off on your game a little bit. So you were thinking about the questions to ask rather than really kind of dropping in. So again, I think that was more logistical, but could be an opportunity to just really stick with the intuition, even if chaos is kind of happening around you. And could help to clear off any distractions beforehand in like a coaching session with a client. So again, I'm not going to deduct points for that, but just something I noticed. And then what's working really well, your use of empowering questions. I think that helping the client to really drop in. Reframing was on point throughout the time, and it felt really authentic. It wasn't like toxic positivity, if that makes sense. It felt really organic and natural. The visualization work was really good. The inner child and kind of energy work where you really dropped into the heart-centered coaching. I could really feel your heart in that. And I feel like that's part of your style. So keep that. And beautiful validating, great on the closing questions, really liked your ownership. I felt like a really like peaceful energy from you, but I felt like even when it came to like action items and accountability, you were still able to hold that down as well in the masculine. So I like that. Creating space for quantum possibility, beautiful acknowledging, and a very powerful last reminder. That was kind of another honorable mention of the BCE energy. And I only took deductions away. So one thing that I noted, even though the distractions were not necessarily in your control, it seemed to me a reflection of maybe some subjective listening. So meaning that you kind of had something prepared of where you wanted to go. So when that happened in that moment, it threw you off. And just kind of reminding, or maybe an opportunity to like really just let the client lead the session and be so willing to go wherever it goes. And then also one stacking question that I noticed at the very end. So taking one more point off of that, it was like a clarification. So this came up a few times, so I'm going to mention it now, but then I'll bring it up for some other feedback that I'm giving. But essentially, question stacking to clarify. And I get it, we've all done it. But essentially, letting that space be there, letting the client actually ask if they need the clarification. So I'll give that feedback a couple of times, but just an opportunity that I'm seeing. So that's a 98. Whoop, whoop. Alrighty, so next up, Emelina. Let's see, BCE moment. So amazing use of the visualization exercise. Like I already knew it was like about to go down whenever you like shifted the energy and went into an exercise. So I'm excited for that. And I felt like it was like one of the first uses of like a really, really great quantum coaching method tool. So I want to give you props for branching out and going there into the uncharted territory first. And let's see, also just like as you were going through it, like I felt the beautiful white light moving through my chakras. So like the energy was very strong in that energy work moment. So it really, again, great use of the techniques, great use of energy work, and being able to help support someone to drop into their body and really move through some of this energy. Let's see, winnable gaps. My encouragement would be make sure you have your assets out and prep before the coaching call. It happens, but just an opportunity there, because if you would already had it, then you could have jumped in that much sooner and just had that much more time to really showcase your coaching craft. So another thing I noticed, which again gave this feedback a little bit already, but question stacking a bit. Usually what I noticed for you is clarification, but there was another piece, which is like a recovery piece. So when you notice that you asked a closed-ended question, you followed up with a question stack to recover. So I did not count that against you twice. I only counted that once because that was kind of a 2-for-1. But just wanted to point that out. Be willing to like be in the mess. Obviously, like we want to have it all figured out. We want to be these perfect coaches, but it's okay if you like flub up on a question, or if you get halfway through something and you kind of want to let someone unpack that, and then you start to ask follow-up questions. Then you start to move in another direction. So just something to think about. And again, like I said before, my encouragement would be to actually like let the question fall, let there be a pause, let there be silence, and then only clarify if the client is asking you to clarify. So really kind of, having that opportunity to surrender even more and let the client lead the session. So let's see what's working really well. Acknowledging and validating. I felt like your rapport building was really, really strong. Like your energy was just like another level. So that was also a reflection to me of some intuitive heart listening for sure. Like I said, beautiful energy. I felt like you had some really awesome and clear, empowering questions. I feel like you were also really utilizing and channeling this curiosity piece. I feel like you also did a really good job with the closing questions and, again, recapping the session and celebrating the client and starting to encourage them to celebrate themselves. You really brought Amy into that with you. So I love that. And just in general, like beautiful space holding, great use of scaling questions. And I feel like, again, you have this very unique energy that feels really light and it feels pure and it makes people feel seen. So I think that's something that's so important. And it felt very soft. It felt very tender. It felt very maternal. So my encouragement would just be to own that. Like that's going to be a differentiation between you and maybe many other coaches with different coaching styles. Let's see. So then total deductions, one for a closed-ended question with the question stacking, which we talked about, coaching materials. And then there was one more question stacking at the end for clarification. So 3 points off looks like a 97. Amazing job. And Julie, last but not least. So I don't have as much specific feedback for you, but don't take that as a bad thing, which we'll get into. So BCE moment, the role playing for sure. I know that we talked about that, but that was so powerful. And the other thing, like kind of like a meta moment inside of the role playing was uncovering the money thing. I feel like you had an intuitive nudge to pause and go back and unpack that. And that was really profound. So I'm glad that you followed that. And something else that I want to say, you're going to notice the trend as I kind of go through sharing my feedback, but I feel like, honestly, it was really hard for me to find specific moments, either to notice BCE or to talk about what's working or to notice gaps, because I feel like you were in a lot of big coach energy the whole time. Like your energy was just elevated the entire time you were coaching. So it was hard. It wasn't like an ebb and flow. So that could be a pro and a con. I mean, who knows? If you want to like surf that, awesome. But overall, I think it's, again, a reflection of you just being so embodied. So definitely wanted to acknowledge that. I feel like you like did not come to play. Like you came here to get shit done. So definitely more, and I get it. I have a really similar coaching style. I think Jenna may have been the one that told me, but a little bit more directive, a little bit more authoritative in style. And I'm similar to that as well. It's not for everyone, but the people that it's for will love you for it. So don't like hold back. Don't like hide that. Like that's part of what makes you you. So let's see. I would say winnable gaps. I want to encourage you to stay flexible and owning the coaching and staying focused on the client until someone else takes over. So it's a really small thing. Again, I didn't take points off for it because it was more logistical in nature. But I did want to give you the encouragement to just like hold it down literally until someone takes the coaching torch from you. Rather than like looking for someone to pass it off to, be like so focused on the client that like you don't even know what's happening until someone's like, hey, Julie, because that's just a reflection of you just being in the zone. So that'd be my encouragement, is just keep owning it rather than being like, oh, should I still be doing this? Should I be passing it on? And I get it. It's like we want to keep everyone included. We want to make sure everyone's getting the time that they want and need. Plus, everyone in here has been in programs together and has their own individual relationships. So there's like that desire to like help your friend out. But my encouragement, again, would be just to like stay in your lane and stay so focused on your craft that like you don't even notice until someone has to like snap you out of it. So what's working really well? A lot here. So scaling questions, I feel like you made them really fun. Like scaling questions can feel kind of blah sometimes. For me at least, and I've noticed, that sometimes when coaches try to get them in, it's like you can tell it doesn't come out as clean because they're kind of overthinking how to ask it. But I feel like you made it really fun and really straightforward and really simple. Like I was not confused when you asked the scaling question. And also just a shout out to all coaches. I noticed that scaling questions were a key area where there was a little bit of faltering or question stacking. So that might be an opportunity for everyone collectively to kind of look at this piece and probably play with it a little bit in your own way so that when you get on the coaching call, regardless of how it's presented to you, you feel comfortable communicating that in a bunch of different ways with a bunch of different kind of subjective opportunities or circumstances. So let's see, a lot of meta listening, I noticed for sure, Julie. You're really good at seeing patterns. So you're really good at just like having that penetrating view where you can see the limiting belief and get to the deeper thing. Also a lot of acknowledging. I felt like there was some celebrating with the client. Great use of questions in the chat. So you were really like taking the questions that were coming and saying like, hey, let's work these in a seamless way. Kind of a reflection on that same thing around the meta is like, I could see you multitasking, but not in a way that was distracting, which is a reflection of your power as a coach and also meta coaching specifically. So what I mean by that is like, you were keeping up with the chat, you were being present, you were seeing opportunities, you were being in the big coach energy, but you didn't look distracted. And you were still like utilizing big tools and working things in. So it was like, again, really good reflection of this meta level of awareness, where you're able to be on kind of multiple tracks or in the quantum realm as you're coaching them and hold space for so many things while still seeming very present. So that's a beautiful, again, kind of skill set or tool. So keep using that. Awesome use of the role play tool. I know we talked about that a bit. Crucial combo, also starting with acknowledgement and appreciation, felt really empowering. So I loved all of that. And let's see, any deductions that I have. Okay, so I noticed a missed opportunity, and it's something that's so light, but I felt like I had to, as a strict judge, I had to give you some feedback on something that you could see as an opportunity. So essentially, I feel like during the role play itself, I saw an opportunity to suggest trying something on. So in coaching, we use with our clients this ideology of let's try it on and see how it fits. But being essentially presenting the opportunity of like, because there was a lot of like, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is a good idea. But if there was some kind of let's try it on, and it could be Amy being like, hey, let's hold space for possibility. Are you open to play with this with me for a minute without making any decision? Or whether it could look like, let's try like a 30-day trial. Let's try this out. I felt like that was a really good like opportunity essentially to kind of try on the fit, to be able to give both of them some level of confidence or assurance on what the role would look like and some of the results that could happen from it, without maybe committing to something more long-term or committing to a higher revenue or whatever that looks like. So I felt like that could be like an integration piece that could be helpful. But overall, like that's the only deduction I have. So 99 on a technicality, evil when you do handstand.
Whoa, our judges are bringing it heat. Thank you, judges. Amazing. Okay, I will go next and I will cruise through because so many amazing things were already said that I was going to say, which is awesome because we are all on the same page here. So I'm going to kick it off with Emelina. So good. Such a beautiful light energy, as Lindsay was saying. Really, really powerful BCE moment. Okay. You have this ability to like let the questions land, right? You have this ability to allow, I notice space. And I know that Jenna said leave more space, and I can see where she's saying that, but you ask a powerful question and you really let it land, and you can hold that space for the client. And the energy that you're holding the space in is like really, really potent. So, and it feels magical. So keep that big coach energy just all the way around, and amazing using your intuition. What I have here as a winnable gap, one thing that you say a lot that I don't know if you're aware of is you say cool a lot. That's cool. Okay, cool. So be mindful of just that language that you use, because cool does work sometimes, and just notice like when you're using it to fill the space and how what other powerful verbiage you could use instead. Like maybe making them feel heard instead of saying cool, like heard that, understand what you're saying. I feel that, something like that. I try to tend to like take the word I out of it as much as possible. I know that I also say I, but I'm aware of that too. So just be aware of the word cool. That was like one thing that is a winnable gap. What was working really, really well was when you caught your closed-ended question. Yes. And be mindful of the question stacking. What was working really well is you use nerves as energy. Or like, yeah, those nerves are just energy. And that was a good teachable moment, good reframe. Really great use of curiosity, as Lindsay also said. You got Amy to get to like the rejection point, right? Feeling like that was a big moment. And I also would say that's part of the big coach energy moment of like really helping her get to the root of the rejection. And you did another really great thing, which was circling back to her goal. So a lot of time had gone by and you circled back to the goal, which was really powerful. Amazing centering when you went into the miracle question. Your voice and your tone and your inflection when you're in your like zone of centering and taking someone through a visualization and the miracle question was really powerful, because as we know, like our tone and our inflection and our voice is energy that we're transmitting. So that was awesome. And great job celebrating her and tuning back into her heart and how it feels in her heart space, because that was a big thread that you brought in that kind of was weaved throughout, and it all came back to the heart, which was so awesome. And great job. I loved when you said, what if the goal isn't even a 10? That was so cool with the scaling questions. Really great job throughout with the scaling. So that was what was really working well. And amazing. So I had 2 deductions for you. No, I had 1 deduction for you. So your score was 99 from me. Amazing, beautiful, incredible job. Thank you for being here. All right, we've got Sandra in the house. Beautiful energy, beautiful job, just like really attuning to your client. I mean, I can agree the big coach energy moment was just the inner child healing work, but it's the space. I wrote in capitals, like really big, amazing at holding the space in those moments. You know, it's interesting because in those moments of like allowing someone to go through something so powerful, the space feels like it's a million meters long, like it's like huge. And winnable gap on the other side of that, like Jenna was saying, having the client, like you're amazing at celebrating the client, but I agree in having the client celebrate themselves and pull it out of themselves and leaving the client more space to talk. So at the end, when you were kind of going through like, okay, this is all the things that we did in this session, that was really powerful. And can you turn it into a question to ask them? It's like, what do you say? What do you see as all of the amazing things that we hit on this session? Like I could tell you right now, but I want you to see it for yourself. And then partner with them to like pull it out instead of you just framing it all for them. That could be really powerful. Just a suggestion there. Where am I at here? Okay, winnable gaps, a little more open-ended questions. You had a few closed-ended questions. I know you're aware of it. Yeah, celebrating last line, the client to talk more. What worked really, really well in your coaching was you're always acknowledging and validating, and it's so powerful. Like everyone listening, everybody watching, like you can never acknowledge and validate enough, and I think this crew really demonstrated that so beautifully. Love how you reframed the purpose of anxiety. That was super cool. And then you asked a closed-ended question about can you use like the anxiety as an alarm going off in your body? Instead of can you use it, just open it up. Like how powerful would it be for you to be able to feel into that and have that be an alarm that goes off in your body? Like how powerful would it feel for you to have them be bought into it? And then you said, how can you make yourself safe when that alarm goes off? I know that Jenna had brought that up too, but that was amazing. And really great at reframing anxiety, which was a thread that was also pulled through the whole thing. Overall, incredible job. I think I have 1, 2, because you said, would that be valuable to you? Would it be possible? And I know that you know your open-ended questions, so just open those babies up. So I have 3 closed-ended questions, 1 question stacking, so that's -4, plus 1 for the allowing the client to talk more. So that's 5, 95. Epic, amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And now we have Julie. Okay, Julie. Whew, big coach energy. Your big coach energy is your confidence and your certainty in your coaching. Like you have this like fire of like, we're doing this. And it's definitely, I relate to that style as well, Lindsay. Like it's very like, you just like go into it and it's not aggressive where it's scary, but it's like, it makes me feel very safe and held, right? It can make your client feel very, very safe and held. So really, really great with like your confidence and your certainty. The role play was awesome. And I actually disagree with Coach Jenna. I'll be the Simon Cowell. As far as I thought the role play was really well timed because she had to move through some of those deeper emotions in order to get to the place where she was ready to like actually have that conversation. And so I don't know if you guys scaled on how ready are you to have this conversation right now, but I think that a winnable gap, Joel, before you got into the role play is to ask like, how ready do you feel to have that conversation? Because it felt like you just went into the role play and it felt awkward to me at first where you were like, okay, you want to try on this tool and it's called role play, but instead like asking her permission or getting the scaling of like how ready is she to even go there. You intuitively felt like she was ready, so keep that because that was working really well for you. Great job with your opening questions too. You massaged them in so beautifully. Gaining rapport, having small talk in the beginning, but not like making it super long was also great. Great clarifying and deepening, great scaling, great asking how comfortable she feels with what she wants in her life. Whew, okay. So my winnable gap for you is also in the beginning. The last thing I'm going to say, because I know we're running over, the last thing I'm going to say is that in the beginning, she said that she assumes that the answer is going to be no with her boss. Does everyone remember that when she said she assumes that? When I hear an assumption, that always perks my ears up to ask to go a little bit deeper into the assumption. Like, okay, I'm hearing that there's an assumption here that the answer is going to be no. Where else, how often does that show up for you where you believe that the answer is going to be no? So just a little opportunity to go into that, like maybe if you wanted to, just to bring it to your attention. Assumptions are always like, ooh, okay, we can look at that if they want to kind of thing. So I have that and the asking for permission in front of role play, so that's 2 points. So that brings the score to 98 degrees. Woo, baby. Amazing. Okay, so audience, how are we doing? Are you holding on with us? We have 23 people on still. That's amazing.
And so, Carly is about to put up the poll.
Awesome.
For you guys to make your fan favorite. So get ready to vote.
Get ready to vote in the poll. The poll will it be in a separate post in the Facebook group? Do they have to leave the video?
It's going to be in the Facebook group. Yeah.
Okay. So I would pull up another window so you could stay on live with us. Pull up another window in the group. And please celebrate your coaches. Everyone's celebrating everyone. Really, really great work. Coaches, how are you feeling right now?
That was such a cool opportunity. I'm so grateful that I had the chance to be here. And Amy, honestly, like no coaching aside, that is just so brave to like get on this situation and to share so openly about what you're moving through and what's coming up for you. And, you know, it's one thing to say like, oh yeah, I'll coach, but to be the client, I think takes a whole other level of courage that thank you so much. Like it couldn't have happened without you.
Awesome.
I was thinking the exact same thing. So beautifully said, Julie, that it takes so much strength to really come on it and just be a client in general, but to really be able to like be so open and vulnerable in this space with all of us and with the audience is just so beautiful. And I just really want to honor and celebrate you for that. And thank you so much for letting us be a part of this journey. And this has been such a cool experience. And something that I share too is, you know, this is huge things for us all to get to be really in this container together and share this magic. Like coaching is so powerful, and for us to be able to get to be in an opportunity like this is just something that I am so grateful for. So thank you so much.
Well, made me feel very safe. Appreciate you.
Yeah, just to like echo everyone else, of course, like your courage and vulnerability, Amy, was absolutely like phenomenal and appreciated. And I really like, I want to hear how things are going to go. Like, I don't know how we're going to make this happen, but you need to let us all know because I need to know how this conversation goes down and what the outcome is. And you're going to do amazing. So thank you for sharing with us. And yeah, just also like so grateful for this opportunity, and just goes to show, like, I'm sure I can speak for like the coaches as well that are here that went through QCA, but you know, like a year ago, I would have never seen myself doing this. And so to be here today from, you know, thinking where I was a year ago is just so profound and huge. And so I'm just proud of all of us for being here and for showing up in this way. And so, yeah, I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I'm so excited for all the current QCA students and anyone else that's thinking of joining. But it's just, yeah, it just goes to show how powerful the experience really is.
And thank you for saying that, and thank you for sharing. Like, and for all of you watching, I know some of you have been through the program, but like watching these watching all of you take Amy through this transformation, like the transformation level was massive. Like you guys took her through a transformation. Like she has transformed in this coaching session, and it's because of you guys and her. And like, it's just, thank you, each and every one of you, coaches and judges and everyone, for being willing to show everyone like what this is about, because it's really so special and so powerful. So thank you for being willing and vulnerable to be the coaches and to put it out there and to show everyone how amazing you are at what you do. And Amy, for being so vulnerable and willing to do that as well with your, with everything that you're moving through and creating. And the judges too, like, wow, blown away by each and every one of you.
Amy, you're getting so much love in the Facebook group. Yeah. You need to go back and read these comments. Everyone is waiting to hear what happens when you talk to Todd. And
Todd, why aren't you just on there? Todd should.
I know.
You should have just come.
Invite him to the event.
Okay, so Carly dropped the link for everyone to go vote. While you guys are voting, still tune in and listen. We're gonna give you guys like a couple minutes. We'll go a couple minutes over it, just because that's just what's happening. If you have to leave, we totally understand and respect that. We want to be in time integrity as well. While we're waiting, something very exciting. So if you are watching and you are thinking, man, like I want to up level my coaching, like these coaches blew me away, I want to up level, I want to invite you all to something that we've never done before. It's called Quantum Coach Codes. If you are in QCA or have been in QCA, you don't have to be there because you already know it. If you want to come though, I mean, we could work that out. So Quantum Coach Codes is a 3-hour coach intensive where you will learn new coaching tools and skills to help you up level everything that you're doing in your coaching. In this specific Quantum Coach Codes, it is essentially like cracking the code to coaching and giving you opening questions. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was a very strategic way that the session was opened, guided, and closed. And it's in our quantum coaching session structure framework that we teach, that we want to teach you in Quantum Coach Codes. So Quantum Coach Codes, 3 hours, you're going to learn a framework that you can immediately learn. Then you're going to practice in our 3-hour intensive training. And then we're going to do a group coach, kind of like here, kind of like what you've seen, but a little bit different. You're going to also get a chance to get feedback on your coaching and meet other coaches who also are practicing their skills and tools and wanting to up level. So if you have ever said to yourself, man, I really want like a solid framework to take my clients through, it's not a plan for your coaching. You don't know how the sessions are going to go, but it's more of a framework to help give you the foundation to help the client get exactly what they want out of the session. Amy came in and she said that her goal was to have this conversation with her boss. And what did she leave with? So much more than that. It's almost guaranteed that the client will always get what they want and need with the quantum coaching session structure. So this is something you want to do. Tonight we're offering $100 off, which is, it's $444 for the 3-hour intensive. And if you join tonight or by the 20th, it will be $100 off, and on the page there will be a discount code. So if you're interested, I would say join in, hop in, get more in this vibe, in this energy to up level your coaching. Don't you guys think they should join? Yes, 100%. If you want to, yeah. And if you have anything to add, go for it. Ooh, we have votes already. Oh my gosh.
I know, we do have votes. I just wanted to shout out, in addition to Quantum Coach Codes, I mean, basically, I wanted to say about Quantum Coach Codes that it's the only chance to get inside of part of the Quantum Coaching Academy without joining the Quantum Coaching Academy. Like, we do not teach this content anywhere else except QCA. And so it's a place where you can get a little snippet of that and see how you like it, see how it up levels your skills. I did want to shout out the audience members who had their questions used,
Yes.
who will be getting a discount code to the Big Coach Energy Shop. Number one, Chelsea Holden. What is on the other side of discomfort? That's right. Number two, Danielle H. Where does fear of rejection stem from? Excellent question. Last but not least, Bella, the one and only. What is a new belief you want to cultivate moving forward?
Woo!
Yes. So that's 2 graduates and 1 student who got their questions asked. Fantastic.
Amazing. And there's over 20 people on, and do we have even over 20 votes right now? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
No, we have 16, no, 12, 16 votes. So
please vote right now. Click the link. Vote, 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 vote. Yay.
Is it because we didn't vote? Do we need to vote?
Oh, we're also on there. No. Yeah. I want to vote for each and every one of you. You guys are all freaking incredible. Incredible. Okay, so do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have anything you want to share? Do you have anything coming up? I wanted to invite everybody that was on the Zoom to come on the Zoom, but we forgot about that part. Next time.
Yeah. I wanted to say that when we do Next Top Coach again in 2022, I want Amy to be one of our coaches.
Ooh, Amy, yes. Yes.
Future girl. QCA graduate.
Such a good idea.
Amy. Yes.
Such a good idea. Love that. 18 votes in. Okay, let's see here.
Amazing.
How long should we give them?
What's up?
How long should we give them to vote?
Let's just give them like 2 more minutes. Okay. I love what Lindsay shared in the Zoom chat. If you're on the fence and wanting to join Quantum Coach Codes, do it. You will get so much out of it, whether you're a new coach or an established coach. That is exactly right. Couldn't have said it better in our own marketing copy. Thank you, Lindsay. It's true.
All right, it looks like we have a winner. You're all winners. Let's just be real about that. Fan favorite, let's just say that. All right, and I don't know if you guys are looking at it. With 9 votes, this is close, you guys. Very, very, very close. Okay, 9 votes for the fan babe. Emelina! And it was neck and neck with Sandra and Julie. 1 vote differentiating both of you. So each of you will be getting a special prize from us for being part of this. And I'm so grateful. Thank you guys so much for being here. And we have a Next Top Coach. All of you.
Emelina, we have to know, are you going to go on the podcast or go live on Instagram?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm blown away because the caliber of the coaches in this area is just unlike anything I've ever seen. So I'm just so honored, and I truly am just so grateful. I feel, oh my gosh, I've never been on a podcast before, so maybe it'll be the very first one. How amazing would that be? Oh my goodness. I'm so excited.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Amazing. Congratulations, Emelina, Sandra, Julie, Amy. Thank you to our coaches, Lindsay and Jenna, and me.
And we'll drop everybody's Instagram and Facebook so you all can follow these amazing coaches and
hire
learn more about what they do.
Hire them to coach you because you will be in amazing hands. Follow them, hire them. If you have a podcast and you want them on it, ask them to be on it. We're pimping you all out. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, are we wrapped? Okay. Na 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 na. If you guys have any questions about Quantum Coach Codes, Carly will drop the link for you to join. I'm thinking that if if QCA past students want to join, it should be like less, like a lot less. So we'll create a special discount code for you guys and drop it in your Facebook group. So beautiful. Thank you all for being here. We love you. Next top coach. Woo! We did some work today. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too, because we live for the ripple effect over here. And how can you best support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot the episode and tag me and my guests on Instagram at Manifest with Ash. Now say it with me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. We don't just talk about it over here, we be about it. Now go get 'em.